Alright, and today we're going to cover the basics of Japanese stab binding. Japanese stab binding is a traditional binding method from Japan where you have a hard back and a soft cover. It's bound around the side just like that. Generally very simple and easy to manufacture, but complicated enough to hold any sort of important documents. Now, we are going to be using them for sketchbooks primarily, but don't let that stop you from using them for other things. Here's some various examples of Japanese stab binding. You can really get creative with this. The whole idea is you just don't step over the same spot again. Now, you can get really complicated too, and don't worry about that. Now this is the one we are going to be binding for class. It is 8.5 by 11 inches and should be able to work with pretty much any project that we need to do. General sketches, taking notes, this will cover pretty much everything we need. It's kind of flimsy on the back cover, but that's nice, so it should fit in your backpack a lot easier. Now here's the type of books that we use in more advanced classes. This is a Coptic bound book, so it opens flat very easily. This is the type of book you're more used to. This is a perfect bound book, which is great for works of fiction, but necessarily isn't great for a sketchbook. And this is a secret Belgian bound book. We will get to that one in the future, but it focuses on the spine and cover being sewn together. Now here's what you're going to need. A stack of about 40 to 50 sheets of paper, a couple pieces of chipboard, another piece of paper, a longer piece of paper that's double the height of the book, so that way we can wrap it around, a pair of scissors, a ruler, a needle straight, some thread, a binder clip, a drill, a pen, and patience. So first we're going to wrap the paper around our entire block. So we have the board and the paper stacked together, and we're going to wrap the paper all the way around. So this is going to form its own type of cover that's going to protect the outside and back, but it'll also keep our spine nice and smooth. So see how I drug my finger there? It made another crease. That is going to help that out. To create the cover holes, the easiest way is to take that extra piece of paper and we're going to fold it on itself 3 times. So these different folds are going to create areas for us to draw and make marks. You can use a ruler in math if you want, but this seems to be just as efficient as anything else. So you see, as soon as I unfurl it, it is going to make a bunch of folded quadrants. I'm going to take my ruler here and measure up about 3/4 of an inch. You don't have to be too specific. You can make it 1/2 inch, a full inch. Now we are going to draw in those quadrants a line. So first you're going to go from edge to edge there, right? And then we are going to make X's alternating, so that way it separates out. The easiest way is to just follow my lead on this and not overthink it. When you're making more complicated ones, you're going to have to do a lot more marking. Now we're taking that piece of paper and we're attaching it to a piece of board. That's going to help us hold the whole thing down as we drill it. Also in the future, that board that you attach down to the whole packet can be used as a jig, and you can use it for every book you make in the future, so you don't even have to worry about this. When drilling, always drill straight up and down, never at an angle. Drill at an angle, it's going to alternate and not make it look very good. But when you're drilling straight up and down right into the hole, here's some different camera angles for you so you can get a better feel on the whole thing. For the string, it's going to be 5 times the length of the book. That tends to work out fine every time. You'll have a little bit of extra, but that's good because things happen that aren't planned. Snip. For threading the needle, there's one secret I can tell you. You can take the thread and drag it through your teeth with a little bit of spit. That'll make it angled. That'll make it go through the eye of the needle a lot simpler. That being said, with the current climate, make sure you're not helping anybody else thread their needle. I probably don't have to explain why. So when you start from the bottom of the book. So start from the back side, the harder side, the one that has the chipboard. Leave yourself a little tail of string. Try to hold that down with your thumb. That will make it a lot easier when we need to tie this off in the future. But you really want to hold it down because we're not tying a knot until the very end of this, and you can pull your string entirely out. So now we're going to go down the next hole after going up. Go ahead and pull it through. And then you're going to wrap it around again, all the way around, and then go back in the same hole. Now we're jumping over, since we're facing down now, to the last hole on the right, and you're going to go straight up that. So one of the secrets on that is you're going to go up, and then you're going to wrap around the side. Now follow the same process just on the other parts of the book right over there. This makes it nice and neat, easier to organize. It'll make that crease a lot better on the front for whenever you open up your booklet. Now we're going to just go march backwards in the alternating spots where we had open thread. So you saw the top and the bottom now. I'm going to go down that one, and then we're going to repeat the same process that we did before, where we're looping around the side and the spine to be able to make a more secure binding for our book. A little trick on this is to make sure to move your thumb out of the way so you don't stab it. So pull it nice and tight and flip the whole book over so we can loop the needle around the hole. So we're not tying this yet. We're going to loop it around. See how it goes underneath? We're going to loop it around, and then that'll give us the freedom to be able to tie this off. So we'll get one knot, double knot it. Always recommend double knotting. Big fan of double knotting. My shoes are double knotted. That's the end of list. So make sure you double knot it, and you can cut your string off right next to the knot, or you can leave it long and use it as a bookmark. For the process of this, we're just going to knock it off right at the knot. It's going to hold its shape forever, so don't worry about it. One last little thing to do is to take the back piece of paper that's hanging over and fold it inside, so that way it makes a nice little back desk cover. And look at you. You bound yourself your own book. Great job.